Hey guys, I wanted to come on today because I just finished a blog post about creating content for crocheters specifically. Obviously, it could work for anyone who's a maker. A lot of the ideas can be adjusted and fixed for people who maybe aren't crocheters. Maybe you're a knitter, maybe you're a weaver, maybe you do other creative things. But I'm really excited about the post because it's leading me into something that I'm really interested in doing a lot more of, which is helping other creators with social media. I'm actually a full-time social media specialist at the moment, and it's a big part of my life, and I'm on social media all the time, and I've learned a lot of things that have made it really easy for me to run my own social media channels and not feel super stressed out about it, and it's just made it a lot easier for me. So the newest post that is on my blog right now, and you can find my blog using the link in my bio here on Instagram, and check out the newest post that I have up, and it's called Creating a Month's Worth of Content for Crocheters. And I just want to run through it really quick here on my video. I'm going to post this to my feed tomorrow so that anyone can watch it. It'll be on IGTV. But I'm going to go through the post and just go through some of the things that I've found that I think are super important and ways that makes it easier for you to create content in advance so that you're not super stressed out and wondering, well, what the heck am I going to post today? So the first thing that you want to do when you're planning out content, and it is important to have a plan. It doesn't have to be a whole huge, big, year-long plan, but like in Guardians of the Galaxy, if you guys have watched that, you need to have part of a plan, at least some kind of a plan, some kind of an idea of what it is that you're posting about, what's the value that you're providing the people that you're talking to in your audience. And the easiest way to do that is to create categories. So if you can create 3 to 4 categories that you want to post about, that's going to help you plan out that content in advance, and also help you think, okay, what kind of images am I going to need? So if this is for Instagram, obviously you're going to need an image, whether that's a quote, whether that's a graphic that you create on Canva, or if it's just a picture of you working or a picture of a finished product. Planning ahead a little bit and having an idea of these categories can really help you plan ahead for the photos that you need to take as well. So for me, in my blog, you can read all of my categories, but I'll go through them here. So my first category is works in progress, so WIPs. I share photos of something I'm working on. I may ask people if they have any guesses as to what it is, or I may talk about what it is and ask if they're working on anything new. And that's the big thing, is you want to find ways to turn your caption into a question. As often as you can, you want to ask a question because you want people to have a reason to engage. I mean, if you just say, here's a pretty picture, they might comment with some hearts, or they might say it's really pretty, but you're not learning anything about them either. And the biggest thing on Instagram is, or on any social media, is you want to know who you're talking to. If you don't know who you're talking to, then you feel like you don't know what to say. So any opportunity that you have to find out more about your audience is going to be golden. And so you want to ask questions. My second category is finished and new products. So sharing a finished pattern that I have, sharing a finished project. If you don't create patterns, if you create finished products and you sell them, you can share finished products. I share new sticker designs or new t-shirt designs or new workshops or anything new that's happening that is a finished product that's ready to go. And you can have a call to action in your copy that says, go check it out here. Use the link in my bio. Go get you a copy of this pattern. Go check out my shop because there's all this great new stuff. Go register for this class. So all of these things, this is where you can share that. This would be under your finished product category. Another one is, for me, is tools of the trade. And this is great for any maker. You see this a lot in Meet the Maker challenges, where they'll talk about sharing your tools and sharing your materials. All of this would go in that category. I might share my favorite new hooks. I might share my favorite new yarn that I've tried. I might share yarn that I didn't like so much. Anything that you have that helps make what you do possible, these are things that you can share. So that would be within that category. Then you have intro posts. These are so important. You need to show up on your feed. I used to think that I could hide and not show my face, and technically you can. You can do whatever you want. It's your social media feed. But I do feel like it helped. I felt like it was super, super helpful when I finally started showing up, posting videos. You don't have to go live like this. You can record your videos on your phone and post them to your feed. You have a lot of options there. But I think when it comes to introduction posts, you should be introducing yourself to your audience, reintroducing yourself at least once a month. So once a month, you should have a photo of yourself. And again, you don't have to post a photo of yourself, but tell people your name. If your name isn't in your bio, tell people who you are. Tell them how long you've been doing your craft. Tell them when you started your business. Tell them why you started your business. What's your goal? What do you want to do with these things that you're creating? And maybe share a little something about yourself. And these posts also, I talk about this in the blog as well. These posts don't have to be super long. Once a month or once every 2 or 3 months, you can share a super long post that's really kind of fireside chat about who you are and what you do with your business, and can be a lot longer. But in the meantime, you can share little posts that are like you out in your garden and say, are there any other gardeners out there? Find ways to show a little bit about who you are outside of your craft. So do you like coffee or tea? I know some of these are kind of silly, but these are things you can ask as questions. So do you have pets? You can talk about your pets. Are you someone who likes to have plants in your house, unlike me, who has a black thumb instead of a green thumb? So these are all things that you can share in like little snippets so that you don't have to sit down and say, I don't know what to write on this introduction post. It's supposed to be 15 paragraphs long. They don't have to be like that. So that's that category for intro. My 5th category for content is positivity and motivational posts. So my brand as Pink Sheep is all about positivity, joy, happiness, supporting other people, lifting other people up. So that's an entire content on its own of category that I share on Instagram. And so I plan ahead, and some of those posts don't have to be pre-planned. Sometimes I'm just having a rough day and there's things that I need to look in the mirror and have a mantra and say, this is what I need to hear today. So that's what I share, because if I need to hear it, someone else out there probably needs to hear it. And so that's when I take that opportunity to share a little bit of that positivity, a little motivation, telling people, don't give up if you're getting frustrated with a project, be yourself, stop comparing yourself to other people. These are all kind of those motivational things that I like to share in that content bucket and category. My 6th and final category that I use consistently is user-generated content, UGC in the marketing world. This is anyone who shares pictures of stuff they've bought from you. If they share reviews, if you have an Etsy shop or an online shop and they've shared a review and maybe they share a photo along with it, anything that someone else creates as content that talks about your business or talks about your products, you need to jump on that. You need to save it. You need to have that available, because those are the pieces of content that are going to come in clutch. When you don't have anything to post, those are what you're going to go after, and you're going to say, this is what I need today. I'm going to share this person, I'm going to tag them. Make sure you ask permission. That's a big one. But most of the time you can just comment on their post before you save it. So you don't want to comment the day of and say, hey, can I share this today? Because they may not see it. But as soon as they post it, go ahead and comment. Ask them if you can share that post, save that post, and share it later. And so that way, when you do get around to sharing it, you have that permission and you can share that post, and there you go. The other great thing about that is not only do you not have to take a picture that day to share, you can quote their copy. So if this was a social media post or if it was a review on your shop, you're going to be able to just pull that content in, quote that, and then say something like another wonderful, happy customer review, something like that that really shares it, because there's no one who's going to be able to better advocate for your business than happy customers. And it's very relatable. People want to see, you can talk all day about how great your stuff is, but when someone else says, yes, this person's stuff is great, it's really great to have that as well. So those are my 6 content buckets. I'm going to go through them one more time. We've got work in progress posts. We have finished product posts. We have intro posts. Oh, I missed tools of the trade. We have positivity and motivational posts. And then we have user-generated content. So those are my 6 categories that I go to very often. I go back to them all the time. I can kind of filter that through my brand and what I try to put out there. And then I'm able to kind of match up my photos that I have available to those contents, to those categories, excuse me. So for you, you may be an avid baker. So you may want to start bringing in a content bucket that includes every now and then you post about something new that you made, something that you baked. And you may think, well, that's kind of weird because that's not what my business is about. But people aren't buying just your products. They want to know who you are. And so they may connect on a much deeper level when you tell them that you're a baker. So they're like, oh my gosh, I bake too. I really need to be supporting this person. So creating those connections is all about sharing those little bits of yourself that are outside of just your craft. So maybe you're a gardener, maybe you love plants, maybe you're an avid reader and you want to share a book review every now and then on your feed. These are actually the posts that they may not get as many likes, but they're probably going to get a lot more comments. If you're asking questions like, what are you reading? You're going to get a lot more people who want to chime in and tell you. People want to share things about themselves. And so if you take that time to ask those questions, again, it's not always about the numbers. It's always going to be about that connection, about that engagement. So let's move on. All right. So after I go through the content buckets in my blog post, I tell you to go ahead and write down some of your own categories and things that might work for you. And some of those may be similar to mine. That's totally fine. That's why I put them out there. So if those work for you, awesome. And then I break it down in a way that's really simple to actually start planning out your content. So let's say you want to post 3 times a week, which I think is a very good goal, especially if you're just starting out, if you're not super comfortable on social media, if you're always stressed out about what you want to post. 3 times a week is really good. That's going to keep you posting every other day, once every 2 to 3 days. And I think that's good. And it's really important to be consistent with your timing. So if you have an Instagram account that isn't a creator or a business account, if you don't, you should. So go ahead and make that change because that allows you to see analytics. So if you see your analytics, you can go in and actually see when your audience is most active. So my audience is most active right around lunchtime. So 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time for me is when my audience is most active on Instagram. So I always make sure that even if I'm not posting every single day, I'm always posting right around that time frame. And I have noticed that if I miss it and I go outside of that window, I definitely see less engagement on my posts. So that's definitely important and it really does work. So like I said, make that switch if you haven't. Pay attention to your analytics and see when your people are online so that you can post when they're actually there and looking for you and can find you. All right, so if you post 3 times a week, that's about 12 posts a month. So I broke this down for you in this blog post. And if you just joined, welcome. My newest blog post, you can find it, link in my bio, scroll down and you'll see read the blog. This is my first blog post right now. So this is what I'm going through right now on this video because some people like to watch videos versus reading blog posts. So I'm going to give it some of that here. All right, so 12 posts. The first 2, and not the first 2 posts, but 2 of the posts within the month. You can move these around however you want. But 2 of these posts will be from the intro bucket. So the intro content category. So at least twice a month, share something personal about yourself. Again, these don't have to be super long-winded posts about your entire history with crocheting and your business and all of that. These can be shorter posts. And I include 2 pre-written sections of copy that you can copy and paste, change up, or just get inspired by for these posts. The first one is asking a question about, do you have a green thumb? Sadly, I kill every plant that comes into my house, but that won't keep me from trying. Maybe I should crochet some plants instead. What do you guys think? So that's a great caption. It's something that it's asking a question, it's getting people involved. They're going to immediately start thinking in their head, yes, I have a green thumb. No, I kill everything. And they're going to have that connection with you, whether they're like you or not, because you know, it's one or the other, you know, or they don't own plants, so they don't buy them for that reason. So it's just something that gets people thinking, and then you ask the question, which gets them engaged. And then you're sharing something about yourself, which is the personal side. So there's 2 from that one. I have another one that's out asking coffee or tea. So those are just 2 examples of things that you can post within 1 month that are from the introduction content category. So there's 2 posts for the month. 2 more posts are going to be from your WIP content category. So these are your works in progress that you're working on that month. So 2 times in a month, most of the time for crocheters, you're going to have at least 2 projects that you can share in 1 month. If you don't, you can share progress on the same item. So if you're working on an item and maybe you share a photo of you, maybe it's in your lap and you're working on it. The next photo could be laying on a table with some stuff around it, and you can talk about your progress on it. Maybe you're getting frustrated with it. You can share that. You can share how you're feeling about the project. Maybe you're super excited about it and it's taking you longer than you wanted because you're ready to get it done because you want to wear it. Or you can share maybe a selfie of you in the mirror and it's halfway done and you're on Sleeve Island because you haven't finished the sleeve of your cardigan. So there's all of these ideas for you, and you only need to post about it twice in that month. So there's 2. And I have a pre-written copy on the blog as well for both of these 2 potential posts. So that's 4 posts in the month. You have 2 introductory posts, you have 2 work in progress posts. So the next 2 posts are going to be from your finished product category. So you may be thinking, well, what if I don't finish a project at all in that month? And that's okay. This is an opportunity for you to also do throwbacks. So you could do like a throwback Thursday, a flashback Friday, and you can showcase older designs that you finished. Maybe it's one of the kind of user-generated content as well. They can kind of be mixed there. And you can share a photo of a finished product that someone else shared after you had sold it to them. So there's that. I do this a lot seasonally. So I have patterns that I'll revisit, like my crop tops. I wrote my crop top patterns 2 and 3 years ago. But around summertime, it's time for me to start sharing about them again, because there's going to be people who just started following me. They don't know that I wrote crochet patterns for crop tops because now most of my stuff is chunky like this. And so I'll kind of dig back and find photos that I have of those crop tops to share and say, hey, flashback to when I wrote this pattern, go check it out. You know, it's still a great pattern. It's perfect summertime. People are pulling their crop tops out. So this is the perfect opportunity for you to share older finished products, not just new finished products. Let's see. All right, so that's 2 posts. So we're up to 6 posts. We've got 2 introductory posts for the month. We've got 2 work in progress posts, and we have 2 finished product posts. This could also be with finished products. It could also be new things that are happening. So maybe you have a new design that you did. I create stickers, so I might share a new sticker that I've got. Maybe you released a new blog post, like I'm talking about now. Maybe you have a new class. Maybe you have a new video that's out on YouTube. All of these things can also be kind of coupled into that finished product category, because these are new things that you're sharing and they're ready to go, and you can do a CTA to tell people to go check it out. All right, so we're moving on to tools of the trade. So twice a month, you want to share some kind of tool or material that you use in your craft. So this could be crochet hooks, this could be knitting needles, this could be yarn, this could be, I don't know, a new pair of scissors. I mean, who doesn't want really sharp scissors for their projects? Anything that's a tool that you work with that you can share. This might be Happy Mail from another maker. You know, a lot of people like to share tools that they buy, hooks that they buy from other makers. This is an opportunity to showcase them, and you've got that collaboration piece. But 2 times in 1 month, you want to share something. This could also be your workspace, yarn stash. Those are other things, but that's twice a month. You want to do tools of the trade. And I also have, again, in my new blog post, there are pre-written samples of copy that you can copy and paste into these two posts for Tools of the Trade. Next up is positivity and motivation. For me, I chose that content bucket since that's what I use, but this is anything that you decide to use as a content category. This could be baking, this could be reading, you might be sharing the books that you're reading, this might be video games, this might be anything that you're into outside of your craft that you might want to talk about because it's a big part of your life. That's going to go here. So you'll have 2 posts about that. I included copy for positivity and motivation, samples of things that I might post within that content category, but this would be changed to anything. Next up is user-generated content. I think this is last. Yes, and last but definitely not least, user-generated content. This is where you're going to find 2 posts in 1 month that you can share that someone else created. This may not work for everyone, especially if you really, really are just starting out. You may not have as much user-generated content. You may not have as many people posting. But I would encourage you now to go ahead and reach out to some of these people who have who've supported you. If they're friends or family members, someone who would be willing to take a moment to photograph something that they purchased from you or that you made for them, that you could then use to showcase your item on someone other than yourself. Most people are going to want to help you with that. So this is an opportunity to reach out and get that feedback. You can source your customer reviews if you have a store. Instagram has made it really easy. If someone tags you on Instagram, if they tag you in their photo, then it's going to show up on your feed when you click on photos that you've been tagged in. But it gets really tricky when they tag you in their copy. So if they tag you in their caption, it's going to be a lot harder to go back and find. So you're going to want to make sure you bookmark that. And if you haven't used the bookmark feature, it's amazing. It has pretty much replaced Pinterest in my life for ideas and making sure that I remember where things are if I want to go back and check them out. But you can actually create boards, not boards, but groups of bookmarked posts. So you could create a group of items that that people have tagged you in that are from you. So you could keep that so you'll have it ready whenever you need it. And that's really great for, again, if they don't tag you in the photo, then it's really hard to go back and find it. So you want to make sure you bookmark it. But that's super helpful for starting to create kind of that backlog of images that you could then use in the future. So I think that's everything. Wrapping it up, that's 12 posts in 1 month, 2 that are user-generated content, 2 that are either, for me, positivity and motivation style quotes or posts in general, things that I'm sharing about supporting each other, but this could be anything that you're interested in outside of your craft. 2 posts on tools of the trade, so your materials. 2 posts on finished products, so things that are already done. Again, this could be a flashback. If you don't have anything that you finished recently, you can share something that's older and finished. Work in progress posts, 2 of those. It could be the same project that you're just showing different stages of progress on. And then 2 introductory posts. And again, introductory posts don't have to be super, super long, 15 paragraph long posts. They can just be something that is personal about you that you're sharing, that you can also then ask, that you can turn into a question. So I have an example on my blog about, I shared a photo of me wearing one of my cardigans, holding a bottle of wine, saying, "Where my winos at?" Okay? And people answered, whether or not they like red wine or white wine, whether they don't drink or whether they do drink, any of that you can share. And that gave me an opportunity to just get to know some of the people that are following me, asking that question, asking coffee or tea, asking what people eat for breakfast and sharing what I eat for breakfast. And it seems so simple, but it's those little things that you start getting to know people a little more as a friend who is following you and supporting you versus just some random person who's following your Instagram account. So you really want to make those connections. The whole point of me creating this blog post, and again, if you're just joining me, this is my newest blog post on my blog, and you can find it by going to the link in my bio here on Instagram, scrolling down and clicking read the blog, and it should be the first one that pops up. But the whole reason that I wrote this is because I do work right now full-time as a social media manager, and I want to start creating more resources for small businesses and small creators who just feel like they need a little bit of guidance. You don't have anyone to talk to about it. A lot of the classes out there, you don't know if they're going to be scammy when you end up paying money and then you don't get what you think that you're going to get. I really want to start creating some of these resources that are truly helpful. So I do need your feedback, and I would love for you to comment on the blog post and let me know what you think, if it's helpful at all, if you feel like it's going to help you take a little bit of the stress off of your plate and kind of have a little bit of a plan for your social media feed. And I would love to start creating some of these downloadable resources, maybe a calendar for the month that actually has pre-planned content ready for you. Maybe it's even pre-written, so you've got, prompts that you can actually copy and paste, change up a little bit to fit with what you need and what works for you and how you want to speak and your tone of voice, because we all speak differently, and so some things may not fly for some people. You may say, that doesn't sound like me, and that's understandable because I'm not working with you one-on-one, so it'll be a little more generic. But having pre-planned calendars, having monthly prompts, I know that people right now are doing the amigurumi, and those kinds of challenges are super, super helpful. And I've seen that people get a lot more active on social media when they have these prompts available. So I think being able to create those and have them available to you guys would be helpful. So, but I do need your feedback. So I need to know if it would actually be helpful or something that you'd be interested in. The last thing is that I do have my second or third, I can't remember how many I've done now, but I'm bringing my virtual workshops back. And I'm so excited because they've been really fun, and I do them on Zoom, so I get to see your faces, and I get to connect with you guys. And I'm going to have my first re-upped social media workshop coming up on Sunday, May 23rd. I think it's Sunday, May 23rd. And it's already up in my Etsy shop. I have like a registration, you just purchase it through Etsy. And that is also in my bio. If you click the link in my bio and click live virtual workshops, you can sign up. I only allow 8 people in each class because I want them to be a little bit smaller. But we go over stuff like this. I talk about batching your content, just making it easier on yourself. And I'm hoping that it will be great and that you guys will love it. And I just can't wait to get to connect with some of you guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to hang for just a second because I think there are a few. Let's see. Yes, I did February challenge and I found lots of connections through the monthly challenge. Yes. So I think that even if it's not a challenge, it's just going to allow you to feel a little less stressed out about having to post so often. I feel like the challenges really, really do help people, takes the stress away, because you know what you're going to post about. And that's the point, that's the point of having a little bit of a plan, having these content categories of like, okay, well, I've already posted about this, and this category's left, easy, this is what I'm going to post about. So I think having that will be helpful. Yes, this Sunday I'm doing a pattern writers workshop. So that's another one. That one is full. That one filled up pretty quick. I am doing another pattern writers workshop on May the 30th. So these are this month for May. I did Sundays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. Next month, I'm going to do them at a different day and time. So I'm going to try to mix that up each month so that it makes it a little more accessible for other people. But yes, so this weekend is a pattern writers workshop. I'm doing another one May 30th. Those are also in my Etsy shop if you're interested. But yes, I'm really excited to be bringing these back, and let me know if you want me to do more videos like this, kind of just breaking down my blog posts. I think sometimes people enjoy watching videos a little bit more. So I'm going to try to start making these. I'm also going to try to start putting these on YouTube so that they're accessible in other ways, not just on Instagram, maybe even on Facebook, because I know not everybody's on every social media channel. So yeah, thank you so much for joining in, and until next time, we'll see you then. Bye guys.